The only podcast with jive talking swingers, baby. This is Bombers.
Hey everybody, this is the only podcast that is Bombers, and I am Bombers number 5, Deg, aka Anthony, aka Deg, aka Bomber number 5. And also joining me is the next one. Who wants it?
Hi, I'm Zyber, number 3.
And there's
You've been drinking? Are you okay, Anthony?
there's a third Bomber too, and his name is Shay.
Hey, hello, hi.
He AKAs as Spiegelly, and is Bomber number 1, the most energetic.
Yes, keep listening. It gets better from here.
I am
it
so
can only
excited
get better
for this.
I figure if we start off, what I was doing there was I was testing, and all of you listeners who are still with us, you're the real deal. So thanks. Now you get the actual content of the podcast.
Everyone else, you made it 1 minute, and you are dead to me.
So first up, this is our final podcast for the month of Bang. So,
yay!
Excuse me.
Let's get that deal going.
Yeah, so I promised everybody that I would be drinking one bang per week on the podcast, and that's mostly been true. I did have a little bit of an accident where I drank one a little early because of a caffeine emergency, but I did review it on the podcast, and true to form, I will be drinking. Originally, I was like, well, I'm not going to... Ow. Jeez. Originally, I said, I'm not feeling super great today. I think I'll skip the bang tonight and just do it some other time, but the public awaits, so I will be drinking, not a lot of, but I'll have a couple sips of.
I don't know. The script here reads, and I quote, "Not tonight, honey." So I don't know if we're allowed to let you drink this.
Well, you know what? Sometimes you can change your mind based on, you go to sleep for a little bit, you wake up, you feel a little better, and then,
Now, see, he's not having honey tonight. Bang is
I misread the script. I thought we were going completely off script. I was ready for an off-the-rails wild adventure, but...
Well, anytime you drink a whole lot of chocolata, it's an off-the-rails wild adventure. Now... Another funny story about this can is that it's already open. You're not going to hear the sound of me opening it on the podcast.
That worries me.
Because I'll tell you why. Is because I dropped it on the floor like 5 minutes before I got on the microphone, and I was like, "Oh shoot!" It probably got all shaken up, and it does have carbonated water in it. So I opened it over the sink. But this is a fresh experience. Trust me, I have not. Believe me, I've been dreading drinking this. I didn't get excited and drank it early or anything like that.
It would have been more fun if you opened it now, though, where all the audience could see the explosion.
But
I wouldn't want this horrible chocolate energy drink all over my.
Well, if it was 5 minutes ago, it couldn't have still been shook up. What I'm hearing though is that you definitely still don't want to drink it and didn't actually change your mind to go off script and are doing anything for the audience. It's literally that you dropped it and then accidentally opened it and you're worried about wasting it. And you don't want to drink it a week from now when it's been sitting open for a week.
I don't want to drink it at all. There's no doubt about that. So I do think it's a good idea for me to just get it out of the way. I'll just take a couple sips. Not going to drink this whole thing. I mean, it could be good. If it's good, maybe I'll have it tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
I'll put
watch it actually be good.
There's no way that it could be good.
There's no chance this is good. A chocolate energy drink. I mean, a chocolate like a Yoo-Hoo, that's pretty good. But this is carbonated chocolate water.
It's definitely the carbonated part that is terrifying in that entire prospect. Because again, Yoo-Hoo, good, not carbonated.
It does smell a lot like chocolate milk.
If they can carbonate a yogurt soda thingy, I'm pretty sure chocolate milk should be fine to be carbonated.
I am terrified. I've never heard of the thing that you just said, and I'm gonna need you to explain that, Zyber.
You'll have to look in the foreign aisle of your grocery store. It's like a... I don't know, my friend really likes it. I tried it. I was like, not for me.
Carbonated.
I'm trying to get a little bit of light on the situation here to see kind of what color this looks like. A very dark yellow color, and
that's
I'm really
weird.
When I think of chocolate, I think of dark yellow.
Oh, it's like the cream inside of chocolate.
Well, it's like a brownish yellow, I guess would be the best way to.
It's not better.
Like a caramel flavor, perhaps.
That's slightly.
It does kind of smell. It does smell a little caramel-y.
Oh my gosh.
Is it caramel or caramel?
No, caramel is how you pronounce it.
Caramelized.
This is fascinating. All right, how much longer should I stall before?
Honestly,
we do
it's
this?
about 5 minutes in. You should just drink it.
Sure.
All right, I'll take. All right, here we go. Take a sip of this. Oh God, this is gonna be so good.
He's sipping. He's
Apparently, there's a mint flavored yogurt soda.
he's grimacing.
That's
He's fallen over. He's thrashing on the ground.
That's really bad. That's really not good.
Is it chocolate flavored?
That's yeah.
Do you hesitate to use the term chocolate?
It's very like it tastes like chocolate milk, but like carbonated, and it's like
Ew. He's going back for more.
I bet my friend would like it, minus the energy part.
And there's the frothing again, and the thrashing. Yep. And he's back up.
That's bad.
Maybe you should try a third time just to make sure it's bad.
No, but instead of that, I'm going to give you all a special treat because I bought this a while back. This is Mountain Dew Gingerbread Snapped. And actually, I've already had a sip of it. It appears that it's full. But I've already had one sip of this. This is like weeks and weeks ago.
I was going to say, that's like a month ago that I remember you talking about that the first time you sipped it.
That's because as bad as that chocolate drink was, this is even worse. So just for you, the audience, here I go. Take a screenshot. I'm about to drink
Is
this.
it chunky? It looks chunky.
No, it's not. There's no chunks in it. There's no gingerbread parts or anything.
Then it's been sitting out too long and it's become chunky because...
Well, it smells like a ginger ale. So initially, upon smelling it, I was like, oh, well, this might not be too bad. This might be like a ginger ale. And no, it's freaking awful is what it is.
Because it's not just ginger, it's the bread part, too.
Oh, God. Why would anyone do this?
Why would they put bread in soda?
Honestly, though, upon taking a second drink of this, I would say definitively this is better than the whole lot of Chocolata Bang energy drink.
That's really sad. Apparently there is a new Mountain Dew flavor that's really good. I forget what it's called, though.
It's not a whole lot of Chocolata.
And because I'm still not done with Birthday Cake Bash, why don't I just go ahead and finish off this bad boy right now, just while we're sampling all these energy drinks.
So, you need to order the blast.
Oh, that's Doc. You don't want to let that sit for a while.
It's carbonated.
You went from I don't feel good, I have a headache, I'm not going to drink the bang, to you have now drinking 2 bangs and a Mountain Dew.
I am ready to end my life through Bang.
Since we're talking about ending our lives, why don't we go on to the next segment?
Well, no, Shay, you need to order the bangs in preference.
The first 2 were pretty good. I don't remember.
Purple
one of them was like a
haze.
purple haze, and then what was the other one?
Blue. Orange.
Blue
was
was
orange.
good.
Was it orange? I thought.
No, it was Star Blast.
Star
It was Star
Blast,
Blast. Was the that was the one I didn't drink on the podcast. That one was okay. It didn't really taste like anything, but it wasn't offensive. Birthday Cake Bash. Birthday Cake Bash is probably the worst if I'm being objective. But really, they're equally bad, and frankly, I drank way more of Birthday Cake Bash than I'm going to drink of this chocolate one. So, I would say it's pretty equal, but I don't know. Don't get either of them. Would be my review.
So the Purple Haze is the suggested one if for some reason you
I would say Purple Haze is pretty good. I would say if you're in the market for an energy drink that tastes kind of like Smarties, go for Purple Haze.
I can't say I'm ever in that particular demographic.
I'd take a soda with that would taste like Smarties.
I mean, that's basically what that's what an energy drink basically is, Zyber.
Energy drinks are soda, basically.
It doesn't have to have all the energy part, though.
Energy.
Like my Dr. Pepper and cream soda, 0 sugar, right here.
Oh, dude, I love those. Why can't I have good sodas in my life? Why do I just keep doing this and say, oh, this looks bad and stupid, I should buy it for the podcast?
You do it to yourself.
I mean, I gotta say, this Dr. Pepper tried really hard not to be taken home with me. As I was in the parking lot, the box ripped, landed straight on, like, the side that the sodas come out, and then they just all went around rolling on the pavement. a guy parked his truck and helped me collect it. It's all like, you shouldn't be collecting sodas in the freezing weather here.
Well, that's very nice of that young man in the truck.
Yeah, I had to wait a day to open them then.
Can I throw this out here?
Could have opened them over the sink.
I'm gonna ask permission, but not explain what I'm going to say. So, can I do this real quick? Let me just throw this out there. If you would like to send something for Shay to consume on foods and drinks that isn't terrible, join the Discord and reach out to us.
Yeah, just reach out to me. I'll give you my address. We're not famous enough for me to care about my address being out there, and honestly, I don't really care anyway. If you want to send me a bomb in the mail, like that would at least make my day a little more exciting.
Better than a Bang energy drink. It's a different kind of Bang.
Yeah, I mean,
you'll just find a big box wrapped. You'll open it up, and pops out Zyber, the bomb.
Or number 3.
What?
All
right.
Bombtastic news. Bombtastic news.
Cool news.
All right, kids.
Bombtastic
it is time
nudes.
for Bombtastic News. Good news,
Send
we
nudes.
now have a website. ThisIsBombers.com. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Good
Amazing. Who would have guessed? Anyway, yeah, you can go to that website.
I am on
where
ThisIsBombers.com right now.
It looks beautiful, highly crafted, excellently. It's gone through a bunch of peer reviews, QAs.
Ignored everything that everybody said.
So far, no one's died from using it, to our knowledge.
Which makes us one better than IGN.com.
Anyway,
if
you want to know everything else that I usually say in the Bombtastic News, go to this website and it will tell you everything.
Oh wow, we've
really?
kind of stolen away his job, haven't we? Dang it.
There's actual news this week. There's actual news this week too.
There's actual news stuff.
Yeah, there's new stuff. So, Shay is starting to play on Twitch on Fridays. Amazing. He actually knows how to stream. He's not as old as he thinks he is.
Or something.
I mean, I'm old. Being old was not the issue for the streaming. The issue with the streaming was I didn't think people would want to watch it, and frankly, I didn't want to do it. But we got to a point where the demand was so extreme, and so I was so desired by the public that I'm just going to do it anyway. And what you see is what you get. It's not going to be a big production. No yelling. No dramatic pauses for effect. You're just going to see me playing games.
It's going to be complete silence except for button clicking.
Click. Yeah, the game itself is not going to have audio. It's just going to be
Shay streams ASMR.
The game had
hooked up
audio.
to a GameCube controller.
We had audio.
No, we're it's called a bit. It's called Yes and.
No, I refuse. Yet no or.
All right. Well, what are you playing? What do you
No
plan on
but.
playing on these Fridays?
Well, so I don't know. Anthony was telling me that I needed to come up with like a theme or something. So we should probably take this offline, like our next business meeting or whatever. For This Is Bombers LLC, registered trademark corporation with the state of Pennsylvania. But what was I saying?
You were going to play some sort of NCAA tournament, do some sort of trophy hunt or something.
Yeah, Deg was telling me that I needed to come up with some sort of theme, and right now it's just sort of me. What I'm thinking is I'll play like crappy Xbox 360 games until I can't take it anymore, and then stop playing them. And that will be it. But I will be streaming a lot of NCAA Football 14 from my friends from my college football Discord server. Shout out to the Solid Verbal peeps who actually are listening to this podcast. So,
wow.
Yeah. Did you see the downloads that we got the other week? That was when I posted on the Solid Verbal Discord. So we have a new audience. This is a big deal.
Well, thanks for joining us.
Don't screw it up.
Solid Verbal audience.
Solid Verbal audience, thank you for joining. If you'd like to become friends or best friends of this show, you should look at our Patreon at This Is Bombers, where for $5 or $10, you can be a friend or best friend. Shout out to our current best friends, Anne, Rob, and Josie, and our friends Haley, Aaron, Minted Peas, and new friend, Reaper. Congratulations on befriending us, Reaper. Keep that money coming.
Welcome aboard the Friendship Train Express.
And for those of you who are already giving Dan and Ty money to do the Solid Verbal, well, why not kick some of that money, the old Bombers way? We're only asking for $5 a month. or less, maybe.
No, that's the least.
Or you
well,
can give us
that's what the Solid Verbal is asking
$100
for.
and become an executive bomb-ducer.
Everybody wants that. We're not going to explain it. You got to go on the website and figure out what it is. Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, is that on the website?
Yeah, sure is.
Oh, it is?
Oh man, I gotta check that.
I'll
I gotta go check out ThisIsBombers.com and see what this website thing is all about.
I'll walk you through the website in a specially recorded special episode only for the special people.
If you're special, stay tuned in your RSS feed and you'll get that special episode that totally exists.
And if you don't get the special episode, you're just not special enough.
Sports,
All right,
pending description from Shay. Why do I need to write the description about the sports channel?
Because of the three of us, you're the one that cares the most about sports.
I forgot we had that.
But it's not like it's hard to come up with a description. It's like, this is the channel where you talk about sports.
All right. What are the upcoming releases, Shay?
Get it together. Dying Light 2 is coming out for... What? Dying Light 2 is coming out on... I didn't even know this was happening so soon. February 4th.
Wow.
Coming out for everything.
Didn't know that was coming
so soon. Been waiting for this for like 2 years now.
Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox, PC, not Google Stadia.
What?
But...
Game's dead if it's not coming
out on
Stadia.
Switch? Is that like streaming or physical?
I think it's a cloud version, but I seriously doubt they could get that game.
Yeah,
on Switch,
if they can't get freaking Kingdom Hearts physically.
That was just Square Enix being lazy.
It is.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so Dying Light 2, I mean, I'm not really into the whole zombie thing. I'm not really into the whole first-person parkour adventure thing.
I thought that was a third-person game.
Nope, it's like Mirror's Edge, just with zombies. Yeah,
when I saw the trailer, I was all like, wow, this looks really interesting. Like, you got factions in the city that you want to help and decide what faction to take over and such. And then at the very end, they like show, and then the zombies come out at night, and I'm just like, what?
What?
Why are there zombies? I didn't know what Dying Light 1 was.
Yep, there's zombies.
That put a damper on my wanting to play it.
Remember the original Dying Light came out, I think it was January of like 2015, because I know I was working at GameStop at the time, and I remember like all those major releases from fall 2014 to fall 2016. Like I have like a timeline in my head of how each of them went, and Dying Light just kind of appeared one day, and like a bunch of people came in and bought it, and then it was like one of the most traded in games that we ever got. So I was like, well, this game can't possibly be good if this many people are like just trading it in over and over again.
It's a zombie apocalypse game. How do you actually make a good one?
But years later, everyone talks about the original Dying Light as like a really good, unique game from that time period. And I'm like, I feel like I missed out. Well, just people I know, but I feel like I've missed out.
I mean, then again, whenever I would go to GameStop to buy stuff, I would always be seeing people come in and trading just literally anything they had their hands on. So who knows?
With as much as people have recently been all like, oh man, Dying Light's great and it was one of the best, blah blah, I'm just like, okay, I'm surprised to hear how much it was traded in and stuff. Like, I wasn't in my, I don't know, bubble, like radar, like not really a game that I ever paid attention to, so it's kind of weird, the like furor over Dying Light 2 and all that.
If you're listening to this on the first day that it's available, Pokemon Legends Arceus has been out for a couple of days here. Zyber hasn't played it yet because we're recording before the game released. But if you want thoughts about that, I assume that we're going to have some next week, at least from Zyber. Can I promise that? Is it too early to promise that?
I mean, I plan on watching Haley play it while we're dog sitting this weekend. So,
all right. Well, everyone knows watching a game is as good as playing it, so that's you can definitely comment on it for sure.
Especially when it comes to Pokemon.
Well, that I was being sarcastic, but yes.
Yeah, when it comes to Pokemon.
RPGs, right? They suck. Am I right?
All you do is look at them and press a menu button every 5 minutes. Are we?
I hate games that you look at and you press buttons. They're terrible.
But it's so terrible when I see people like build terrible builds for their characters. I'm like, no, man, you gotta use magic on this character. That's the best.
Are we still talking about Pokemon or Dying
what's
Light?
happening?
What are we talking about?
Yeah, Pokemon.
We're talking about the weekly bomb where we come up with news items and determine if they're the bomb or a bomb. So we have some news items that are news. I don't know.
I'll go first.
Crysis 4 got announced.
Okay, you go first.
I stole it. Crysis 4 got announced. So that's coming out. Do you think it'll be like the first Crysis where it melts computers and it's used as a benchmark test a lot?
No.
I don't care about Crysis at all. I mean, like, I realized that it was a big deal when it first came out because of that computer stuff, and then 2 and 3 came out and they were just sort of like mediocre shooters, and it's like, was this whole thing just a scam to get us to like recognize the name Crysis so that when Crysis 4 came out like 15 years later, that it would actually sell a copy despite being an incredibly mediocre first-person shooter?
I thought Crysis was a game engine.
Considering... No, that's Crytek.
Well, Crytek is the company that made the Crysis engine.
That Crysis is built on?
Yeah. Get it. Wait. Hold on, I'm going to fact check. I got to fact check myself on that.
I mean, part of the whole big hubbub over the first Crysis was basically that it wasn't really optimized and had memory leaks and stuff, so it melted computers and became a whole big thing because of that. So yeah, it is basically just one big scam to make the name be recognized.
This is a bomb. I don't care about. I don't care. And it's EA. It's an EA property. I mean, where did you even see this story? All of my news sources did not cite. It
randomly popped up, and I was like, "Huh, look at that! It's been slow." Other than the big news item from last week that we're still going to be going over, so there was something at least for this week.
So, what is Crysis?
It's a shooter game. Let's move on. I regret bringing this up.
I regret you bringing it up.
They regret listening to me talk about it.
Apparently,
you're fired, and also the audience.
Crysis was set in 2019, so we are past Crysis.
We live in a post-Crysis world.
No, we're on to the second Crysis now, which was set in 2022. Actually, when was Crysis 2 set? I gotta find this out.
Look that up, and this is the joke that I have for that. Oh, so we're living in the middle of a crisis. Ha ha!
Yeah.
It's funny because it's true. So what's the next news item, Zyber?
Don't get them.
All right, next news item. Kao the Kangaroo returns.
No, not Kao the Kangaroo. It's Kao the Kangaroo because he's wearing boxing gloves.
No, it's Kao the Kangaroo because he's a cow.
What's his name?
Yeah, it's Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky. It's Ricky.
His name is Ricky?
Ricky, the kangaroo with boxing gloves.
No, you're thinking of The Legend of Zelda.
Yeah, the Oracle.
I'm talking about Kao the Kangaroo.
Well, that's different from Ricky.
So anyways, if you went what looks like a Crash/Spyro ripoff, which I do, set your eyes on this. Coming on this summer.
It's like Cow. Now I'm going to say that because it's stuck in my head. It's like Kao the Kangaroo 2 or something. It's a return.
Well, actually, there are 3 Kao the Kangaroos, and so this is exactly Crash Bandicoot 4, except that there wasn't originally a Cow 4. So
I've looped around. Can we call it KO now?
I saw a meme that had like some guy without his glasses on and seeing the kind of box art for Kao the Kangaroo, and then he put his glasses on and it was actually the box art for Crash Bandicoot.
There was a point in the trailer where the kangaroo is holding on to a crate thingy on top and then breaks a box that looks exactly like a Crash Bandicoot crate.
There's a part in the trailer where he's running forward towards the screen away from my rolling boulder, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Crash.
And I'm just sweet, I'll take it.
Kao the Kangaroo is a complete joke of a franchise, so it's like pretty funny that they're reviving it. I mean, those games were terrible. They were part of the like kind of GameCube PS2 era of like platformers have nothing left to give. It's over. Ty the Tasmanian Tiger was one of the better ones. You know, Dr. Muto, Zapper, One Wicked Cricket. You know, like all these terrible mascot platformers, and Kao the Kangaroo is probably one of the worst. I don't think they made a Bubsy game for PS2, so I think that would probably be your number one there.
I mean, in general.
But I'm into it though because this looks pretty good. I'm into it though because this game looks pretty good.
Yeah, like they know what they're doing. They saw like the Crash and Spyro remakes. They're all like, "Okay, we can do that." And like
we
if it was
bandwagoned off of them last time, let's do it again.
Yeah, so I was saying like if this was back in the PS1 or even PS2 era, I'd be all like, there's already good or all of them are bad PS2, whatever. But like there was an overloading of them. But now it's all like, well. We only got Crash and the Foxtail Lucky. That was that last gen, I guess.
Ukulele. Spyro's coming
Ukulele
back, right?
was also last gen. And then the second game sucked, in my opinion.
Yuka and Lele?
Anyway,
Are you referring?
yeah.
to
So I'm
Yooka-Laylee
excited
and the
to
Impossible?
see another mascot platformer, just because. Yes, I want to play them. Give me platformers.
You have
Yeah,
fun with that.
I'm generally in favor of reviving old franchises that haven't been touched in for a long time for basically whatever reason. I don't think that it's necessarily a cynical reboot just because it's a reboot of a failure of a franchise.
Yeah, it's
And
not a
they're
revival to
basically
me
just-
because I've never heard of it before.
Yeah,
It's
like a
like,
lot
oh,
of
a
people
new
were like,
thing.
"Oh, it's like a cool new mascot." No, don't forget Kao the Kangaroo. Yeah, it's.
Honestly, I'd
I had
probably
the
feel
misfortune
worse.
of playing that game when I was younger.
I'd probably feel worse about it being a Crash, whatever thingy, if it wasn't already an existing IP.
That's true.
Again, that's what it was originally, was a Crash whatever thing. So
Next, they will revive Gex the Gecko.
They should totally revive Gex the Gecko. Glover, Gex,
I love Glover.
Pepsi Man.
what? Pepsi
Billy
Pepsi
Hatcher.
Man. Billy Hatcher.
Now,
Well,
Billy
that's-
Hatcher would be pretty great.
Yeah,
the
that's-
problem with Billy Hatcher is that it's a Sonic Team game, and Sonic Team is so far up their own
Sonic
frontiers at this point that they can't even like make a game that's not
Billy Hatcher
related
is
to.
so expensive to buy, even before the games went up in price.
Yeah, I saw it for like $30 in a store one time, and I was like, "Man, that's expensive." And that was like 3 years ago, and now I don't even want to.
I would
think
have gotten
about
it for 30. It's like 80 plus now, at least.
You know what game is like crazy expensive that you would have no idea? 50-cent Blood on the Sand for Xbox 360. It's up to like $100 now, and I've just it's
Why?
sitting on my shelf. Because it's 50 cent.
Is that
What
your
about
Hit
Fun.
that big ass ramp.
Def Jam Battle for New York.
That's also expensive, if I am recalling correctly.
Crazy. I don't get it. All right. KO for me, I'm gonna go with probably A-Bomb because I don't care.
I'm gonna go with The Bomb because I think it's cool that they're bringing it back. Like, I don't care if it's cynical and a cash grab. Like, what if the game's actually good? Like,
And like
that's
it,
all.
it
That's the only
does
thing that
look
matters,
decent.
right? Is the game good?
Because like you can usually tell from the trailer of a platformer if it's going to be terrible, and it doesn't look terrible, so it might actually be good.
Yeah, Balan Wonderworld looked bad from day one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
It really did.
You can do
Okay,
more than
what's-
two things in this platformer, so it's already better.
What's our last news item, Shay?
the last news item is related to more fallout from Microsoft's macro transaction, which I is what I've cutely started calling it, to purchase Activision Blizzard. But apparently, and this is a Bloomberg report, so this is not an official news item. But a new Bloomberg report suggests that Activision and Sony have already come to terms on a short-term contract which supposedly guarantees that the next 3 Call of Duty releases will be made available on PlayStation platforms. Now, it doesn't say, the report doesn't say when the timeline of this deal was, so it could have been pre-Microsoft purchase. But, you know, I don't think that this is anything unexpected.
No,
Phil Spencer
this-
has been talking like these games will still come to PlayStation platforms. Now, for how long, you don't know. But the fact is they still have Game Pass exclusivity, and that's really what's going to drive a lot of console sales. It doesn't matter if it's available on PlayStation or not. Not really. It's just another way for Microsoft to make some money.
Well, as Zyber said last week on the podcast, don't break contracts, kids.
Yep.
And
Did
probably
he really
we would
say that?
Yeah, that was a quote from Zyber last week. I liked it. It stuck in my head because I thought it was good. But that is absolutely like what this kind of falls down to is a lot of these release deals probably were already in place contractually before this purchase went through. And don't break contracts. But also a lot of the talk, not like official talk, but like answers and interviews, which I guess is official talk. I don't know. But a lot of stuff coming out of, for instance, Phil Spencer has been the whole like, oh yeah, we definitely totally intend to honor all of the existing contracts, and I believe I saw somewhere some sort of view that Microsoft was looking at gaming as a quote unquote console agnostic sphere, which is a crazy take from Microsoft, who entered with the Xbox and could have just been a game studio developing games and not actually a first party studio.
I can't take anything Microsoft says seriously anymore, just in terms of...
Basically.
Is it a truth? Is it half a truth? Is it a lie? Is it an innuendo? We'll never know.
Well, we'll know in a couple of years when we have the benefit of hindsight.
Anyway, whether this is the bomb or a bomb, I don't know if it's anything. I don't really have an opinion. It's a thing. This is not surprising. So
I mean, a lot of people are suggesting that, not just Bloomberg reports.
Well, Bloomberg is the journalistic outfit that was cited in the article that I read.
There's not much to about this particular headline, but about the whole acquisition in general, I feel like there's still more things that we could dig into with looking at Microsoft's... Oh, okay. Well, sorry.
Where did they get all this blood money?
Podcast.
No, it's no longer a pod. The show's over. Goodbye. Going to bed.
Because another interesting article that I saw, and I wish I had actually written down where it was from, but I didn't, so that's all you get is hearsay, was talking about Microsoft potentially being seeing themselves as being a bastion of gaming, solidarity, and looking at how, say, Facebook or any of these other companies are trying to edge in on gaming, and so Microsoft has been buying up all of these studios to keep them out, as it were. So it was a weird article.
So Microsoft has a Jesus complex, is what you're saying?
Yes. That's one interpretation that was presented, was that they are attempting to make Microsoft gaming the gaming thing, in order to keep out the people who don't view gaming as their primary mission or primary, core interest. Which is, again, a hilarious take to come from Microsoft, which was not gaming until it was.
That's really interesting, because that's definitely my core interest is gaming, and Microsoft keeps pushing me away from them.
Question, though. How would you have felt? How would you have felt differently about this deal if it had been, let's say, Facebook who had purchased Activision Blizzard?
Yeah,
I would be even more horrified.
Well, I mean, yes, but maybe a bad example, but because that's about the most extreme example you could.
It's when they bought the Oculus. I'm like, no.
What about?
Well, guess Oculus.
What about
is dead.
Apple? What about Apple? How would you have felt if Apple had purchased Activision Blizzard?
I don't trust Apple either.
That's the point.
But compared to Microsoft. So what I'm saying is, what I'm getting at is, the article that Anthony is mentioning actually, honestly, has kind of a point.
Kind of a point, because Microsoft has been doing gaming now since 2001, and that's better than if Apple was to do it, or Facebook was to do it, or...
Hey, Facebook has been doing gaming for 12 years, 13 years, I don't know.
Look,
well, they partnered with Zynga and all of those companies to do
Zynga,
it.
Which is now owned by Microsoft.
Are they really? I didn't know that they were part of the King deal.
Yeah, that's Candy Crush.
No, King is Candy Crush. I don't think Zynga is Candy Crush. Zynga's not Candy Crush.
I thought King and Zynga were
Kinga. Hold on,
together.
I'm looking at
this
is great.
Yeah,
great radio.
Looking this up. Zynga. I like their.
We're all gonna
logo.
Get there at the same time.
It's really cute.
It's like a weird dog, and then the word I don't.
Yeah, it's a dog.
I like it.
No, Zynga is its own. Zynga is owned. What? I totally missed this. Take-Two is buying Zynga.
Take-Two bought Zynga, and then
this is this month. What?
Yeah. How did you miss that?
Right there.
I don't know. That's a bomb. I don't like that at all.
Well, let me tell you this: Microsoft's probably going to buy Take-Two next.
Shh.
Well, they don't have to buy another one.
I did predict that Microsoft would buy From Software in 2022, just to upset people.
That's a good question. Who do you think is Microsoft's next big acquisition? You think it's FromSoft?
Why not? If we're making crazy predictions that are going to make people really upset, that is the prediction. So
I don't know.
I was gonna go with Take-Two, but honestly, you're kind of swaying me with the FromSoft thing.
Take-Two seems like too big of an acquisition.
That's the thing. Take-Two's too big of a bite.
It's not as though they couldn't. They could, but I just feel like
so quickly after Activision Blizzard.
Take-Two would probably command upwards of $50 billion because of the money that Grand Theft Auto brings in, and that is a very cash-rich company because of the IP that they've developed over the past decade and a half.
Yeah. That's sort of, to do it directly, I feel like a From Software purchase would be more along the lines of the ZeniMax purchase. So maybe, they go for like a pretty big one and then a really big one. And they're going to go for a pretty big one, which would be From Software, and then a really big one, which would be Take-Two next.
I would call From Software more of a middle-sized acquisition in terms of the budgets that they have to make their games and the strength of their IP versus Bethesda and ZeniMax, who have a number of subsidiary developers underneath their publishing wing, whereas From Software is basically just a developer. But I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, it's still smaller than Activision, Blizzard, Take-Two, EA Games, etc.
Well, From Software is currently owned by Kadokawa, which is a giant media conglomerate. So I guess it would be if Kadokawa is interested in selling it.
Yeah, Kadokawa was very big. I mean,
in which we Google corporations and read about them on the podcast.
I feel like that would be a situation not necessarily where Kadokawa is interested in selling, and more in a situation where Microsoft is interested in buying. Because I can't see Kadokawa being like, "Hey, we're selling this very successful game studio."
Well, Kadokawa is a big, conglomerate corporation in Japan. Like, it's very hard for American companies to acquire Japanese companies, but since From Software is merely a subsidiary of Kadokawa, it would probably be easier if they wanted to do that or buy the rights to those games or those IP or whatever. So
they could at least have the conversation. Now, if Microsoft tried to purchase Kadokawa, that would be not happening because
no.
That would be like if Microsoft tried to purchase Sony. Like, you just can't. Like, it just wouldn't.
Yeah, exactly. And I cannot foresee a future in which Sony does bad enough for Microsoft to buy like Sony gaming division, because
what would be the point? They would buy it to shut it down.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe siphon the talent, but I mean that wouldn't be a thing. So anyway,
yeah, I don't know. I'm just talking things to fill up time on. I don't know.
Oh, we don't have to fill an hour. We can just go home. Just go to take a nap.
I am.
But I'm home.
I'm napping
tired.
right now.
I can tell.
I'm gaming right now.
Yeah, we know. It's because we're recording a podcast.
This is all a game to me.
All right, weekly bomb's over. Let's do something else. I'm bored of this conversation.
So is it a bomb or the bomb?
What?
I already forgot
the entirety of the weekly bomb. This was a pretty A-bomb weekly bomb.
This
I'm not gonna lie.
episode is a bomb. No, I'm not gonna lie. I blame myself. It's been an off day for me for sure.
You just need to get some more bang in your buck. Okay.
Cool. Dead air.
Apparently, we're doing Minish recap now. Where we
it won't be dead air, you idiot, because I cut it out.
Minishly.
Sorry, what did you say, Zyber?
Shay, what have you done Minishly recapped?
Who, me?
Me?
What'd you say?
Shay.
I did not play a lot of games this week. Didn't have a ton of time, to be honest. Just kind of got caught up in a bunch of stuff. And part of the reason I'm not doing so hot today is because I've been working myself a little hard this week, burning the candle at both ends. But I still found some time to revisit one of my old favorites. I played a little Persona 4 Golden because I'm on the hunt for trophies. And trophies, now that I'm moving out of the Microsoft ecosystem, trophies are my new bag. And I'm on truetrophies.com, which is a website that assigns a point value to your trophies based on the rarity of the trophies compared to other people who have played the same games. So it's pretty rad. It's actually like a way that you can have the addictiveness of the achievement points, but also compare it to your friends and whoever else is on truetrophies.com. So you guys should totally check that out and add me. The ZB Network is my PSN profile. I am opening the door to any and all friend requests for the next 25 minutes. Starting now, I will accept any friend requests.
Now from the recording or now from the release of the podcast? Like now from the person listening?
Now from the person listening. If you request me in the next 25 minutes, I will know, and then you can and I'll add you.
Yeah,
I just wanted to clarify for everybody so that, we're all on the same page here.
Well, it's like those old those infomercials where they're like, operators are standing by, call in the next 30 minutes, and then like an hour later the same commercial would air, and it was like, call in the next 30 minutes, and I'm like, wait a minute, I think we can call anytime and get this special offer. I don't have to call in the next 30 minutes. I'm going to call tomorrow. I'll show you. Anyway, TrueTrophies.com.
You know that the regular old PlayStation interface does show you the rarity of trophies that you're unlocking anyway, so you don't really need TrueTrophies.com to.
You do need TrueTrophies.com though, because it assigns a number to your trophies. So like
the
now,
number is there. The rarity percentage is percentage of players.
No, but it's not the rarity percentage. It's let me show you. I can't show you, but right now my True Trophy score. I have two games that I've gotten trophies for with my new Sony account, which is the ZB Network, and those two games are Persona 4 Golden, which I just mentioned, and Batman Arkham Asylum, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But my trophy score, my true trophy score, is 331. I have 20 bronze trophies, and that equates to a true trophy score of 331.
Did you also know that there's on your PlayStation account there's a level associated with your trophies?
Oh my god, you are the worst today.
This all just seems like trophy tracking with extra steps.
I like extra steps. They make me feel alive.
Well, it's a good thing you're recording in your basement.
Also, I played Batman Arkham Asylum, and those of you who know me...
Because you're going to have to go up the steps into the rest of your house later.
We had a pretty big conversation on the Bombers Discord server and the video games channel about
the
Batman.
Steps.
Anthony, you and I were talking about it. And,
True.
You were kind of giving me all this additional context for Batman, and it's funny because, like I said, if you know me, you know I'm not into superheroes. I know nothing. Like, I'm not exaggerating. I know nothing. I didn't know Batman's real name until I played this game. I didn't know that he was referred to as the Caped Crusader,
which is a good name. Harvey Dent. That's Batman, right? You said Cyber.
Yeah.
Who's Harvey Dent is Batman?
Yeah. What? Move on. It's not funny anymore.
Move along. Move along. Why are we moving along to?
Like you would. What?
It's all staying in. So I played Batman Arkham Asylum, and
all of it.
Nope. And I know that people probably would expect me to go into a superhero game being biased against it, just off the top, wanting to dislike it and wanting to be like, this is dumb. Superheroes are dumb, because they are. But you know what? I didn't like the first 15 to 30 minute super cinematic intro to the game. Felt like I was just kind of doing rudimentary stuff just for the sake of it. But the deeper I got into it, and the more that I explore the Asylum, the institution that everyone is in, it's a really deep world. It's designed really well. They've done a lot of really interesting stuff to suck you in, even as a non-fan. And as fan service, I recognize good fan service. It's got a ton of that too. Calling back to old Batman comics and stuff, you can pick up character bios and it'll tell you, oh, this character was first introduced in 1999 in the Batman animated series or whatever. And I think all that stuff's really awesome. And they just did a really nice job putting together a really strong package. So kudos to the developers at Rocksteady for Batman Arkham Asylum, which I've never played and I'm really enjoying right now.
Some point I'll probably go back to that because I never played any of the games after Asylum.
Fun fact, I actually Asylum is the game that I skipped. I started with Arkham City and then tried to play Arkham Origins and didn't get very far, and then skipped Arkham's the next one, Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight. Yeah.
Everyone said it was bad.
Well, that was another one of those GameStop timeline games. It came out in the May of 2015, and that was when I had first been promoted to a new role. And I basically got promoted on the strength of my sales pitch to get people to pre-order Batman Arkham Knight. So you're welcome.
You're a monster.
I am a monster. You're welcome.
Don't pre-order games.
You can pre-order games if you want, but don't get suckered into pre-ordering games.
Pre-order games.
Don't listen to some dude's sales pitch and say, and you can get a free thing on day one if you pre-order. That's how you know it's a trap. Pre-order a game if you want it, not because you're going to get something free on day one.
Do the research first, just like anything. Caveat.
Do your own research. Follow the science.
Oh boy. But one of the interesting things that we had going on in our little Batman discussion on the Discord was people like ripping on Arkham City, and I was like, but I liked that game.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. I've never seen that before either. Everyone I know loves Arkham City.
Yeah.
And they keep telling me, you're going to love Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. And I'm like, okay.
Haley's
like,
been telling me to skip Asylum and just play City.
That's what I did.
That is wrong. You got to play Asylum, dude, because it's really freaking good.
I played Asylum back, like, it came with the PS3, so I played it. That's the only reason I played it.
Well, then maybe you can skip it because you've already played it.
Yeah, but, like, it's been...
I skipped it.
10 plus years. When did that come out?
We know you skipped it. You've said that like 6 times already.
Arkham
I played
Asylum?
the skip.
Yeah, skipped it.
I think I'm feeling a little bit of maybe sexual tension in this room right now between you and I, and it's making me very uncomfortable.
Is that me?
No, he was talking to the mirror.
You're talking to Batman?
No, I'm not talking to Batman. I'm talking to Anthony. Mr. Anthony Batman.
That's my identity. No, I gotta kill you because that's what Batman does.
Well, you're Harvey.
Batman doesn't kill guys. I found that out. I didn't see. I don't know any
concussions and lets them die out later on after he leaves the room.
Yeah, put him to sleep. He's just sleeping. Everything's fine. Shh, quiet.
Like, how does Batman know when he's beating a dude up, like if he's going to kill him or not? Like, if I punch a guy in the head and he just like falls on the ground, like I'll be like, oh crap, did I just violate my own code? I feel like I'd just be walking on eggshells all the time. Like, you can't control that level of violence at that point.
I mean, he just breaks enough bones where they don't want to get up anymore.
You're fighting like a gang of 6 people, and just like you punch one guy and he drops to the ground. And you're like, hey, wait.
Hold on, I gotta check.
Check his pulse. I don't know. You put a mirror up to make sure that he's breathing. There's a little frost on the mirror.
It's like he's not doing it. Revive him.
Hold on, I gotta get him mouth to mouth. We're losing him. Batman, we're losing him. Like Robin's on the floor, like hanging out with the dude.
He points at one of the other mooks that he was fighting. You call 911,
but not for me.
And then he punches him.
It's like, stop punching me. I'm trying to revive your friend.
Do you not care? Is he not part of your group? You're just gonna let him die? Batman, we're criminals.
Specifically,
we kill people.
Specifically, criminals from that world where, holy crap,
they kill a lot of people. Those criminals.
Yeah.
What's really great about the character bios for the villains in that game is, like, they have the Riddler and they have Joker and Harley Quinn and
Calendar Man.
And then you get the weird,
like
people.
the Penguin, but like all of the descriptions for them start off as they are a homicidal maniac with no regard for human life. Like, all of them start off that way. It's so great.
Like, the only one that I'm okay with that is Poison Ivy, where she's just all like, I have to kill the human race in order to keep the planes alive. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's
planes are pretty cool. That checks out.
Well, at least it's like a reasonable, like, logical conclusion that she came to.
Yeah.
I don't agree with her, but
I kill people because that's what I do.
Like, Crocodile's all like, yeah, I got sick of bullying people, so I just decided to actually be a crocodile.
Just started eating them.
Turns out people taste good.
He moved to Florida. That's why his name is Crocodile, because he lives in Florida and he eats people.
I think he was like a
hopped up on bath salts.
Or something.
Well, if he did that, he'd just be Florida Man.
Like, also in the game, as you're fighting people, when you do like a finishing move or something, it actually shows like the skeleton going crack.
Yeah, it's very Mortal Kombat-y in a way, and the combat is actually a lot deeper than you would think initially. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's button mashing. No, it's really not. You have to kind of plan out your moves and like where you're going to go next, because if you miss that counter button press, you press triangle to counter, like, your combo's getting broken, and you don't want your combo to get broken because then you don't get as much EXP and you don't get cool bat powers like the ability to become a bat. And you unlock it in the DLC in stores now.
You have to pre-order it though.
Pre-order day 1, become a bat.
If you get your combo broken, then sometimes you can get comboed on, and it's just like, I don't want that.
I don't like getting shanked.
Generally, getting shanked. Inadvisable and not fun.
I'm supposed to be the one stabbing people.
No, you're Batman. You don't stab people.
Oh, I'm not Batman.
You stab them in the leg.
I thought we were still talking about the game. Okay.
I have not heard Batman tell anyone that he's Batman yet in the game, which is
Batman.
pretty disappointing.
Right.
Well, the game takes place later on in the chronological in-universe mythology, and everybody knows he's Batman already, so he doesn't really have to tell them.
That was before he had to tell people that he was Batman, despite the fact that he's wearing a freaking cape and tights and a mask that looks like a bat.
I mean,
Yeah, but again,
I'm Batman. Oh, I couldn't have figured that out on my own.
you gotta make sure
Keep in
to
mind-
separate him from Man-Bat.
Well, and also, it's the
And
DC
Batboy.
universe. Are you Batman? Are you Batboy? Are you Nightwing? Are you, there's options.
Darkwing Duck,
Robin,
it could be any
Red
of them.
Robin,
You're
Young.
Red Hood.
Jason Todd.
You're a guy in a
Little
cape.
Red Riding Hood,
Yeah, you're
Big Bad Wolf, Sheriff,
Batgirl,
the dude from,
Batwoman.
evil Superman. I don't know. The Songfreud werewolf story. I don't even remember the name of that. Story
Werewolves
of
of
Werewolves.
London, Where and Zevon,
Oh,
Kid Rock.
woo!
Yeah. I can't even listen to Werewolves of London anymore because that freaking Kid Rock song. It's the worst.
Ruined it.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so go out and play Warren Zevon Arkham Asylum
Yeah.
and get some trophies, I guess.
I'm glad that was your main takeaway from that, but yes.
All right. Well,
Nice.
What did you play, Zyber?
I got bored of Final Fantasy X, so I just beat it after I got tired of trying to max her
You
one
gotta get
stats.
You gotta get the Chocobo to get the Ultimate
Oh,
Weapon.
I did that. That was the first thing I did.
Oh, well then why bother playing any more of it?
Well, I still haven't dodged 200 lightning bolts, and I didn't find the 10 cactars.
Do you get trophies for dodging 200 lightning bolts?
You do. You also get
Oh, man.
a thing for ultimate weapon there, too.
Zyber, you should add me as a friend on TrueTrophies.com.
Well, I tried signing in, and it says that, my privacy is not open enough.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you got to make your trophies available to the public.
See,
I don't like the
I
public.
did, and it still said that it wasn't, so I'm just going to have to try again later. Anyway, so
It's you.
To get my trophies, you gotta be a friend of the show and give us money.
since I got bored of 10,
Not open to the public.
I continued on to 10-2, which is actually the first Final Fantasy game I ever played back in the day. First JRPG I ever played.
Wait, hold on. I got to stop you right there. The first JRPG, and especially the first Final Fantasy that you played, was not only not the first game in the series, but not even it has two, the sequel to the 10th game in the series.
Alright, so
So you didn't even play the 10th game. You played the sequel to the 10th game.
let me
That was
set
your
the
first
scene
one.
here. Little kid me going
I
into
can't
the
wait.
video rental store to the game section.
All right, Cyber from a week ago.
And I
Going
see,
to video games to the week.
and so
Right.
I'm just all like, hey, there's Final Fantasy. That's stuff that I'm interested in trying. So there's 3 choices. There's Final Fantasy VII Dirge of Cerberus,
Oh boy.
Final Fantasy X-2, and Final Fantasy 12. And I looked at Dirge of Cerberus, and I was like, no. And so I go between 10-2 and 12. I'm just like, man, these are very similar titles. But 10-2
Yeah,
is
Final Fantasy-
technically before 12.
Final Fantasy 10 plus 2.
It's actually
there's
10
Final
minus
Fantasy
2,
X with a 2, which
X-2.
is, X is 10. And so
Yeah.
I'm so
12.
tired of Square Enix's weird naming conventions. Just call it Final Fantasy 12 if you're going to release Final Fantasy 10-2.
So anyway, I went with 10-2 because
disgusting.
10-2 is numerically before 12. And I had no idea how Final Fantasy games worked.
Well, you see. First,
And based
comes
on
one, and
10-2,
then
I
they
still
start-
had no idea how Final Fantasy games worked. Because, they're all like, look at these main missions in these 2 areas. Cool, you just skipped, 75% of the game by going to those story missions and not going everywhere else first.
First, you play as a 16 to 25-year-old with spiky hair, and
That's
something is
not-
happening, and you
not
get really wrapped
10-2.
up in it. And sometimes you have amnesia, and sometimes you're an orphan, and sometimes your party has someone who has amnesia in it.
So,
I'm sorry,
anyway,
No,
always,
sorry.
not sometimes.
10,
Always.
10-2, I still
Always.
think is a lot of
Excuse me.
fun. It's got 3 characters,
Sometimes
so you don't have to
someone's
worry about
dead.
switching characters out. It's got an ATB system and a job class system, which is man, they should have done more 3D Final Fantasies with job class system. Well, I guess they did 13, but
Yeah.
Anyway, it is a lot of fun. I like it. It's got great characters
did-
that interact well with each other. Everyone kept asking me if I remembered them. I'd just be all like, I don't know anyone in this game.
That was...
Does that game have a kissing scene in it?
No,
Or is
it
that
has
just
a massage scene
Oh, yeah.
where you get to massage your rival sphere hunter person.
Is it like the Senran Kagura reflexes? What is it called? Reflections, I think is what it's called. Where you massage the ladies.
But anyway, like,
Sure.
it's really different from other JRPGs, and if you play 10, I highly suggest 10 too, just because it's really interesting. And go look 100% walkthrough up and just follow along, because otherwise you're gonna miss a ton of stuff.
Fun fact, Rumor, one of the fans of the show, has...
But not a
90
friend.
Not a friend.
Fan.
Just a fan.
Acquaintance.
Has 99...
And he has money. He has money, too.
He does. He hates us. Has 99.97% completion in Final Fantasy X2.
That, yeah.
Because refused to do the Chocobo breeding stuff.
Oh,
That's the best part.
I got 99 point something too, and I have absolutely no idea why I missed. So I'm replaying it and seeing if I get 100% this time. Other stuff I did is that I got back into Beat Saber to try to get my fat ass off the floor.
Whoa.
Hold
My
on.
fat donkey.
I don't know about this show.
Anyway,
Donkey.
I have currently Telephone from Lady Gaga in my head this whole time because that was the last song I played. But more importantly, I finally got to Expert Plus difficulty and beat some songs on it, and I am so psyched.
What's after Expert Plus?
Nothing. Expert Plus is the end.
Expert Plus 2?
No. This isn't Splatoon.
What?
I picked up my telephone and I called you. That's how I imagine that song. I've never heard it before, but I imagine that's the song.
I'm not going to sing it. But yeah,
Oh,
so
good bait,
like
though.
last time I played, I forgot that I attempted Expert Plus the day before that, and so I was just picking a random Imagine Dragons song, and I realized, oh crap, this is Expert Plus. But then I started doing well, and I beat it. I was like, oh, well, I guess I'm going to be trying stuff on Expert Plus now.
That first moment where you get past the like really complicated, difficult part in any like sort of rhythm game, and you're like, oh my god, I think I'm ready for this highest. I think I'm ready for the highest difficulty. That's like the greatest moment of your life.
It's such a huge gap,
It always
though,
feels that
and Imagine Dragons just happens to be like the easier songs on that difficulty. So it's still gonna be challenging doing Extra Plus on like all the songs.
I don't like Imagine Dragons.
Just spit up a little down the front of you.
No, I just burped. I do that a lot when
Gross.
drinking Dr. Pepper, zero sugar, and cream soda.
Or eating the new chicken chipotle chalupa, now available at participating Taco Bells.
Exactly.
Live
It's always
Lost,
weird to me
Taco
that they
Bell.
say like participating Taco Bells, because that makes it seem like there were a bunch of Taco Bells who saw it and they were just like, I don't think so. This isn't for me.
I mean,
I'm
if they have a
I'm gonna-
franchise, they can do that.
I know
start-
I know that's what it is, but like, and most of them do. But it's just funny to me that that's a thing.
I'm gonna start Taco Bell, and I'm not gonna participate in anything. Be like, you got tacos? No, got spaghetti and
But
mattresses.
spaghetti tacos, man.
I have a
Spaghetti
bucket
and a
full of
mattress
mild
folded
sauce.
up into the be a taco.
You put it into your own packets. We don't even package it. It's just in a bucket.
Spaghettico.
Stick your head in it.
Well, you just put a lid on the bucket then. That's basically how
Right.
spaghetti feasts work.
Suck it through a straw.
I gotta admit it to you. That's a Mitch Hedberg joke, and I stole it. I couldn't just take credit for that.
I didn't pay attention, so I guess that's fine.
I mean, the whole not participating in spaghetti and mattresses, that was the joke.
Oh, that was pretty funny. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, Mitch Hedberg's funny. Go look up
Thanks,
Mitch
Mitch.
Hedberg.
I know Mitch Hedberg. I don't not that familiar with his
I
act.
have no idea who Mitch
I was talking
Hedberg
to
is.
the audience. Go look
Oh.
up Mitch Hedberg audience.
Wait for us to finish this episode first, though.
No, we're done. The episode's over.
Take this, Mitch Hedberg. Anthony, are you not talking about your thing?
No, my thing's stupid. We're done.
Well, but wait, you should at least tell the audience what the thing was, so they know what they're missing out
It's
on.
a stupid thing.
Well, what if I did like a whole to find out what the thing was? You got to go to the Bombers Discord.
That is not motivating enough.
Book of
Like,
Boba
I would
Fett.
not.
It
If I listened to this entire episode and I was on the fence about joining the Discord, like that would not convince me at
that's
this
not
point.
the thing.
Like,
For
I would
more
already
Mitch-
be in. I would be in or not. Like, so that's not really a.
For more Mitch Hedberg jokes, join the Bombers Discord.